Hello, welcome back to another video. So I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but I think I cut off about a good 4 inches of my hair in my own bathroom by myself. Don't take my word for it. I don't know if it's actually 4 inches. I'm terrible at measurements. Cut myself the choppiest layers in the world and sort of gave myself like sort of long bangs. I don't know. I think it turned out okay. Today we are going to be talking about my sort of opinions on BookTok books. This is kind of how the video is going to go. I'm going to be naming all of the TikTok books I've ever read in my life, sort of rank them, not really rank them. I have like these categories of love, like, in the middle, dislike, and then the ones I can't remember at all. This is not a tier list. I did think about making a tier list for this video, but one, I am lazy, and two, I wasn't really sure if I had enough books for this. So we are gonna count how many books I've ever read from BookTok, and just like, I'll say if I like them, dislike them. To start, we are starting off with some what I call beginning notes, which aren't actually notes. It's more of a like a disclaimer, I guess. So I don't actually fully know which books on my shelf are BookTok books. I do know some, but if I miss any, really sorry. Or if I mistake any of these as BookTok books, again, really sorry. I've said this multiple times. I'm not actually on BookTok, like, whatsoever. I don't even go on the app. Okay, let's get started with all the TikTok books I've ever read in my entire life. First off, we have Red Queen and Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. Next is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom by Lee Bardugo. Serpent in the Wings of Night, Six Scorched Roses, and The Ashes in the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. Caravel by Stephanie Garber. Beach Read by Emily Henry. Book Lovers by Emily Henry. The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Wings of Ruin, and A Court of Frost and Starlight. The whole Kotar series except Nesta's book by Sarah J Maas. Then we have Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, and Kingdom of Fire. The entire Tog series, again by Sarah J Maas. Then we have Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. Then we have The Foxhole Court, The Raven King, and The King's Men. The All for the Game series by Nora Sakovic. And then finally we have Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. And so in total, that is 32 books. Oh my god. This is how strong BookTok is. Like, it's found its way into every single social media platform. I don't even go on the app, and I've read over 30 BookTok books and may have even missed some because I don't know what the criteria is to be considered a BookTok book. That is scary. So from here on out, we are gonna name which ones I've liked, which ones I've disliked, and more. And then we're going to do some very precise calculations at the end to see what my chances are of finding a book that I actually like if I ever end up scrolling through BookTok. So what really counts is how many I've liked reading and how many I've disliked reading out of all these 32 books that I've read. First category is love, which means these are literally a part of my personality, my soul. Then we have like. When I do think of these, I start getting excited all over again. Then we have in the middle of like and dislike, which basically means I don't feel anything towards any of these. Then we have dislike. I never want to open a single page of these books ever again. Then we have can't remember anything, like, at all, because I may have read some of these like possibly 6 years ago. You know, I should have made a tier list. This is 32 books. Oh well, too late now. I already made this list, so you guys are just gonna have to settle for this. So I'm basically gonna be explaining why I put these books where I put them. So first off, we have love, which means these are literally part of my personality, my soul, and there's 7 books in this first category. We have Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom by Lee Bardugo. Can I just say, most of the books in the love category are mostly because of certain couples. I love subplot romance so much. It basically consumes my entire life. Out of Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, I can't really decide which one I like more because I kind of read these at the same time, and these are the only Lee Bardugo books I ever read. If you think you need to read Shadow and Bone before you read the Six of Crows duology, you really don't need to. I never read it and I still understood pretty well. I was obsessed with every single character. The couple I was most obsessed with, Jesper and Wylan. I'm not sure if that's common because I think most people are like obsessed with Kazan and Nej, but I was like seriously obsessed with Jesper and Wylan. Like, I still go back to read scenes of them in those books. I really want to go back and annotate Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom with Jesper and Wylan scenes in them so I can find them more easily. I think I first read these in grade 8, which was 6 years ago, but I still remember a lot about this, so I think that says a lot because it's been like years since I read this, and the fact that I remember so much, and also there are like specific scenes that I'm obsessed with when it comes to like Jesper and Wylan. Like at the end of Six of Crows, when Wylan like sort of changes his appearance with the help of Nina, and then Jesper kind of starts freaking out because he's just like, I liked your face, and I'm just like, I was freaking out the entire time. Like, I don't know, they were just so in love, and the fact that they're like sort of, not entirely, but kind of complete opposites, I don't know why, but I always love couples that are like that because they make the effort to get to know each other even more if they don't have too much in common. Yeah, but Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, love them with all my heart. I'm probably gonna reread them very soon. Next one we have in love is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I'm just gonna say one thing. Arthur Parnassus. I am obsessed with that man. okay? He was so, I don't know, calming in a way, and I loved him and Linus together. Like, really, really love them together. But I don't know, Arthur is my favorite character from these books. And the fact that he's getting his own book in his own POV, I'm so excited. When I first heard that, I immediately pre-ordered the book. I don't know, like, he's so gentle and sweet, but he also has like this side, like this very protective side when it comes to the children, and just made me so happy. Yeah, I don't know, he just has like this very calming feeling to me, and I always loved reading scenes with him in it specifically, so that's why I put it here. I am so simple. I'll like a book if I really like a character or if I really like a couple. I am so simple. The next one we have is the All for the Game series trilogy by Nora Sakovic, The Foxhole Court, The Raven King, and The King's Men. I think you know which couple I like if you've ever read these books. Neil and Andrew. I'm still currently obsessed with them, and I read these books like, has it been a month already? No, I don't think so. Maybe like 3 weeks ago. I am completely obsessed with them. I made a whole Pinterest board for them. They were so in love. Again, I read these books like maybe 3 weeks ago. I'm gonna go back and annotate them like really soon. I am so excited to go reread those books, and especially because Nora Sakovic announced 2 more books in, I believe, Jean's POV. Apparently the 4th and possibly 5th book are going to be about Jean and Jeremy, which literally no one predicted. When Nora Sakovic announced that Jean and Jeremy were going to be a thing, I think we were all surprised. I'm just so obsessed with Neil and Andrew. Like, they are the reason that I am so obsessed with these books. Like, it's kind of unhealthy how obsessed I am with them. I don't know what Nora Sakovic put in these books, but once you dive in, you can't get back out. And the final one we have in the love category is kind of strange. I don't think many people know that I read this series. I think I've only mentioned it once in like a past TBR. It was only once. It's Empire of Storm by Sarah J Maas. This is like such a random book within the series, okay? But the reason I love it so much is because Alide and Lorcan were introduced. It was introduced that they were gonna be a thing, and I started freaking out. You have no clue. I'm still so obsessed with them. Like, I go back to read scenes constantly of just about them. Like, I don't remember anything that happened in Tog, like the entire Tog series, except for them. That's the only thing I remember. And also the fact that I like Dorian. I really love Dorian. I don't know, Empire of Storms, Alide and Lorcan. I was just completely immersed when it came to them. They are all I remember. I swear to God, I read this series 6 years ago, grade 8 as well. Should not have read those books in grade 8, but I was completely obsessed with them when I first read those books, and I'm just like, oh my God, I am absolutely freaking out every time they came up in like chapters. Okay, next we have Like. When I do think of these, I start getting excited all over again. We have 7 books in this one as well. So first up we have Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I like Thimble the Rat. He was my favorite character. I got so excited whenever he appeared. Like, he was such an adorable little baker rat. That is so random to say. And also it was just like cozy coffee shop vibes. I just really liked it for some reason. Like, it was very cozy, and I also read it during the winter, I think. Next one we have is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. The tournament was really exciting. I liked how Carissa Broadbent explained things. She never information dumped. You kind of learn as you read the story. And also that ending really hit me. I swear to God. Like, I sobbed during that ending. Like, that ending hit me like a bus, okay? Next one we have is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas. I really liked Reese and Feyre. This is the best book out of all of the Kotar books. I am gonna say that. Next one we have is Tower of Dawn by Sarah J Maas. I really liked Keol and Irene. Is that how you pronounce her name? I searched this up before I started this video, I swear. I think it's Irene. I really liked Keol and Irene, and I think I'm the only person on this earth that liked them more than Aelin and Rowan. We're gonna ignore that. Pretend I didn't say that. Then we have Kingdom of Fire by Sarah J Maas. I don't know, I just remember the ending and it made me like really happy for some reason. And also Alide and Lorcan, again, that one scene. Lord Lorcan Locan. I don't know, I just laugh every single time I read it, and I think they're just so adorable. Then we have Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I love Roman and Iris, and also the magical typewriters, and also just the workplace rivals to lovers really got me. Except near the ending, the romance was a bit more quick-paced than I would have liked, but I did like them before the ending. Then we have Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Wasn't obsessed with the couple, but I was obsessed with the dragons weirdly, and that's the reason why I rated this so highly when I read this, because I really like the dragons. I like their different personalities, and I like the bond they had with like their riders. Okay, then we have In the Middle of Like and Dislike, which basically means I don't feel anything towards any of these. Like, my feelings are kind of neutral. Like, I don't like them, but I don't dislike them enough to hate them, you know? So there's 6 books in this category. We have Six Scorched Roses by Carissa Broadbent. Sort of obsessed with the couple when I was reading it, and then I just never thought about them again. Then we have The Ashes and the Starkers King by Carissa Broadbent. Did not like the couple in this book. I thought it was really boring. Some things were kind of information dumped, which I was very surprised about because it didn't happen in the first book. Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Wasn't obsessed with the couple. couple, I got very annoyed as I kept reading the book, but also I just never thought about it again after I read it. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. I just don't like Tamlin. Like, I enjoyed this book while I read it, so that's why I didn't put it in dislike, but I also just don't like Tamlin, so I just put it in the middle. My feelings are neutral towards that book now because I know what happens later. Then we have Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas. I just don't like Kaol and Aelin together. That's basically why I put it here. Then we have Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. This was not as good as the second book. I don't think I hated it enough to dislike it. I just didn't feel as strongly towards this one as I did Divine Rivals. Okay, then we have Dislike. I never want to open a single page of these books ever again. There's 7 books here. So first of all, we have Red Queen and Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. I did not like the couple. I wasn't attached to any of the characters. I thought the storyline was also kind of predictable and boring. Caravel by Stephanie Garber. Very fast-paced romance. Was not a slow burn. Did not like the couple. Beach Read by Emily Henry. The guy went away for like 2 chapters and the problem got solved immediately. Also, the couple really aggravated me. Then we have A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J Maas. This was kind of boring compared to the other books. Less action. I know it's a novella, but it was definitely the weakest book out of all the Kotar books. Better than the movies by Lynn Painter. Thought the characters were annoying. Thought the love triangle was annoying. Thought the love interest and the female lead were annoying. Then we have Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Romance was very repetitive. Thought there were too many tropes, and I thought the romance was kind of an escape mechanism because the author didn't know how to write fight scenes. Okay, and then we have the last category, which is can't remember anything, like, at all. Okay, I read some of these books again like 6 years ago. That was grade 8. I'm turning 19 in July. Sorry, I'm really sorry about these. Just ignore them completely, honestly. So first of all, we have A Court of Wings of Ruin by Sarah J Maas. I don't remember anything about this one other than the ending, and I don't think the ending is enough for me to like say if I like it or dislike it. Like, I don't remember anything at all that happened in this book. Then we have Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas. All I remember is Sam. That's literally all. Then we have Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. I remember Dorian because Dorian is my favorite character. I remember there was a tournament, and I don't remember too much about this one, so I can't really say if I like it or dislike it either, so I just put it here. Then we have Air of Fire by Sarah J Maas. I don't remember anything about this one, like, at all. I think Rowan was introduced in this book, but can't fully remember that. Then we have Queen of Shadows by Sarah J Maas. I fully can't remember what happened in this book, like, at all. Again, 6 years ago, people. Okay, don't be that mad at me. I read these 6 years ago. Keep that in mind. So my calculations, ignoring the can't remember anything category because I literally read those when I was 13, almost 6 years ago. Just by ignoring that category, love and like combined, there's 14 books, and then the middle and dislike combined, there's 13 books. So excluding 5 books, according to my totally specific calculations, when it comes to my taste in books, I may possibly have a sort of 50% chance of finding a book I like if I ever end up scrolling through TikTok. Technically over 50%. Love and like combined, there's 14 books. Dislike and middle combined, there's 13 books. So one more book than dislike and middle, a little over 50%, which isn't bad. Obviously, it has nothing to do with your taste, and you guys are allowed to like whichever books you want. This is just my personal opinion on stuff. And so some final notes. I know I've said in past videos I have trust issues when it comes to BookTok, which I still sort of do, but this sort of eases my mind a bit. If you do like BookTok books, then honestly, I'm extremely jealous because you basically have an endless network of people wanting to recommend you great books. I do think BookTok follows like a certain mold when it comes to fantasy, or like the subgenre, at least romantasy. It's always like the badass female character falling in love with the villain. I just want the main character in a fantasy book to fall in love with someone other than a morally gray villain character. Like, is that too much to ask? I kind of want to give more romance books from TikTok a try, which is kind of surprising because I'm not a romance reader. I think you guys know this at this point. Romance books, I feel like, are kind of fickle at times because most of the time they do follow a certain trope, and there's obviously less action than in fantasy books. But if authors do slow burn romance really well and a specific trope while adding their own spin to it really well, that's when I'll most likely like a romance book. I haven't gotten into the romance side of BookTok yet, so maybe I'll do some research and see which ones I might be interested in. I have been eyeing the Addicted series by Kristen and Becca Ritchie because I do watch other YouTubers that read that series and absolutely love it. To conclude this very educational research, whatever you want to call it, I'd say TikTok books may not be for everyone, but there are definitely some out there that you may possibly like if you just give them a try. Like, before I did like my little research video here, I thought I absolutely hated TikTok books. Like, I thought I had some sort of weird aversion to them and that I just had different tastes from everyone else. But there are definitely some out there that I liked, which I was very surprised to learn the amount that I've liked after I did this whole list thing. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe give it a try if you've never given them a try before, and you might find something out there that you like. This doesn't mean I'll like automatically download TikTok and start watching like BookTok. I just watch people who are on BookTok and like watch their videos on YouTube. That's mostly how I got most of these recommendations. But yeah, I think that's gonna be all for today. I hope this video was somewhat helpful for you guys, even though this was like mostly for me. I just really wanted to see how many BookTok books I really liked and disliked. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed and hope to see you in the next one. Bye.